This is example 1 from the Rational Functions Part 1 lab. We have the following function. We want to define some attributes of that function, such as the domain, holes, vertical asymptotes, and x-intercepts. To do that, we're going to factor the numerator and the denominator. So for 6x squared plus 19x minus 7, that will factor to 3x minus 1 times 2x plus 7. And the denominator will factor to x minus 5 times x plus 2. So to find our domain, we first need to find out what our x values cannot equal. And we know that when a 0 is on the denominator, our function is undefined. So if we set our denominator equal to 0, we find the x values of x is equal to positive 5 and negative 2. This is a do not equal sign because if it equals these, then this function is undefined. So our function is essentially defined everywhere else. So we can now write our domain. So we have x values from negative infinity to negative 2, united with x values from negative 2 to 5, united with x values from 5 to infinity. So that's our domain. Now we have no holes because each of these are unique and there's nothing that can be canceled. So for holes we don't have anything. So for vertical asymptotes, when our denominator does equal 0, that also gives us our vertical asymptotes. So we have a vertical asymptote at x equals 5 and at x equals negative 2. So for our x-intercepts, that's when our function is equal to 0. Our y value is equal to 0. Our function is equal to 0. And our function is going to be equal to 0 when the numerator is equal to 0. So that would mean that either 3x minus 1 is 0 or 2x plus 7 is 0. And solving for x for 3x minus 1, adding 1 to both sides, we have 3x equals 1. And so we have x equals 1/3. And for our 2x plus 7, we subtract 7 on both sides. So you have 2x equals negative 7. X is equal to negative 7 over 2. So these are our x-intercepts, or our x values where our x-intercepts are. Our x-intercepts are points, and since we know that our y value is 0, there's going to be two x-intercepts where we have the value of 1/3 at the y value of 0 and negative 7/2 at the y value of 0. And we have successfully determined some attributes of that function.